Hey guys, Leroy here again with mycapturepage.com. Thanks a lot for taking a second to watch this specialized video that I produce, especially for those of you who already have a phone broadcasting background, whether you used to do it or you do it now, it doesn't matter. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how it really differs and why I switched from traditional phone broadcasting to go ringless and why you need to as well. And I figured with this video I can kind of talk to you guys directly in a way that you can't talk to when you're talking to the masses, right? The first presentation you just saw is for everybody, so they all get it. But you guys have a background and you're going to understand a lot of the things I'm going to cover here. I'm going to try to make this really short, but I want to cover some key points. Now, we all know as of September of 2009, the laws changed where we could only call and phone broadcast business to business. The problem is you can't use genealogy lists because they're too old, because they don't really fit into the current business-to-business format. You can't call BizOp people because they're looking for business. They don't have one. So we had to use extractors, and they were fairly good, right? And extractors still work today, but they don't work at nearly the rate that they used to. And search engines like Google and Bing, etc., are doing everything they can to try to slow it down. Plus, because you have to use search engines when you use extractors, you can get leads, but you're limited. For example, I use this all the time. If you take a look at Send.Cards, which happens to be a network marketing company with about 250,000 people in it. If you use the extractors, and I don't care what extractors you use, if you're a superstar, you're going to get between 2,000 and 5,000. That's because you're going to be changing search, keywords and stuff like that to try to find those people. And if you have that many, the odds of it really being that accurate, as far as, let's say you had 5,000, the odds of it being 5,000 all right is unlikely. It's probably about 2,500 or 3,000 or so. So the bottom line is, let's assume you're a superstar, you're amazing, and you got 5,000 people. You got limited to 5,000. Why? Because the extractors will use the search engine, and they only limit it to 1,000 displays, right? So the bottom line is, you can't get gobs and gobs of people. So if you look at Send.Cards just as an example, that means there's 245,000 people that we've never had a chance to extract with an extractor and get a list and do a broadcast to, because you just can't find them, right? Google won't pull them. So you have no way of being able to call those people. So it just gives you an idea that we've had access to leads, and phone broadcasting has been great, but since September 2009, it has been limited. It also caused the problem that many of you have experienced, and that is that you do a broadcast and you get someone yelling and screaming you on the phone that this is like the 5th call they've got, and they've asked to get off the list, and why do you keep calling them? Why do they do that? They do that because 4 other people call them and they think you're the same people, right? Because they get the calls. And that is because the pool of people we're pulling from is very limited compared to how many people really need to be getting our phone calls. So you look at this and say, man, right now, if you look at phone broadcasting, the extractors are not as effective as they used to be, and they're going to get smaller. The number of people who've got cell phones is getting bigger, and you got a mess, right? You got a total mess there. Not to mention when you bring people into the business to get leads for their business and to promote their primary company or even sell the phone broadcasting, it's harder and harder for them because they got to go through and use these extractors and clean the lists out. And most of the people, they're not happy with the way the extractors work as far as for long-term big numbers. You can always get good leads, especially if you're using like Yellow Pages and you just want attorneys and stuff like that. That's wonderful. But as far as using the ones that are pulling based on keywords off of Google and Bing and Yahoo, etc., that they've got to go through and clean those lists out. They also don't like when people complain that they've gotten calls. These are the 2 big problems. So if you take a look at what you've got here with Go Ringless, because it's the different technology and it has different rules under the FCC, we can now go get a BizOp list. You can go get a list of network marketers. You can get a genealogy list. And for those of you who don't know, a genealogy list simply is a list of the organizational list hierarchy in an organization, a network marketing company, of all the people in it or under someone's organization. So you see all of its 100% people that are in that XYZ company, whatever it is. And usually it's because of its company gone out of business, though it's not always that way. The bottom line is now you can call so many more people. And so now you can go to the average person who's trying to build their nutritional or travel business or whatever and give them a tool that they can actually do. They can go out and buy a list of people who are BizOp seekers and send a great message about their business, send them to their website, hopefully with one of our My Capture Page sites, but whatever site they're using, and actually get results because they don't have to run an extractor to be able to run their business. They can use the extractors in the system, but most of them are going to go buy good lists. They know exactly who they're calling. They know the lists are pure, meaning there's no garbage in there, and they're not going to have to worry about anything other than clicking the button and sending off the information. They don't have to run any software or anything. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just so cool. So what you've got here is a system that is going to be so much more easily duplicated by your team. And I think you're going to really, really enjoy having a system that's easy, that works great, and the results are amazing too, because remember, these messages go out as if you left them personally, or if you do a commercial one, you certainly could do that. And the response rate on these things is way higher than traditional phone broadcasting. Another reason why that is, though, is because you're able to contact a lot more people. For example, right now, none of these BizOp list people, the only way they're getting called is what? Is when someone buys a BizOp list and calls them. Nobody's getting phone broadcasting because it's illegal to call those people with traditional phone broadcasting. So if you look at this, you say, wait a second, we've got the ability now to contact BizOp people by the thousands, right? There's millions and millions and millions of them out there. I mean, man, this is just absolutely amazing. So the pool of people that we used to pull from in traditional phone broadcasting and that you have available to you now is about the size of a dime. And in the size now, if you look at the number of people you can call using this technology, the Go Ringless technology, is about the size of an 18-inch pizza, right? I mean, it's huge. And it also means we're not going to be stepping on top of each other, right? That means there's going to be millions of people, tens of thousands of people are going to be getting phone broadcasts, in this case the ringless broadcast, right? Voicemail drop type technique that's going to get out there and get messages out to these people. They've never gotten a message about anything, right? I mean, they've never been called. They don't know anything about this. And that also means the market for our product, Go Ringless, skyrockets. Why? Because now you're going to have literally millions of people getting broadcasts. Again, voicemail drop broadcast, phone never rings, goes right to their system, right? Now that are going to be getting these messages about this, that about people's business. So let's assume I'm in Amway, whatever, and I do a broadcast out for it. These people want to get started in that business. They're going to say, great, I'm with XYZ company. How do I build my business? Now they can hook them up with Go Ringless. And now we've got someone else that's going to buy a Go Ringless account because there's more and more people actually in our industry. So if you take a look at the difference between what traditional phone broadcasting is, and it's been wonderful, and I've made a great living with it and helped a lot of people make a lot of money in their business and selling the product. Now you've got Go Ringless. The market for this is skyrocketing. By the way, now all these insurance guys and local pizza restaurants or whatever, all these people can now use this technology where they really couldn't before. You can't get a pizza shop marketing because he can just call business to business, and his local businesses are all going to be places that have phone trees and IVR systems and operators. Now they can call consumers in their area and let them know about their pizza program because it's enhanced information services and not a phone regular broadcast. So just want you guys to know that if you haven't figured it out yet, this thing is big. This is really big. In fact, this is probably bigger than when phone broadcasting came out to begin with, because now we've got such a huge market. And by the way, people also, because they're not interrupted with a phone call while they're in the middle of doing something, or whether it's at a movie or dinner or school or whatever they're doing, now the message is there. It's dropped directly in there. It's so much more convenient, so much smoother, and it's just great stuff. So anyway, wanted to share that with you. I'm going a little bit longer than I wanted to, but hey, don't we all? But I wanted to just talk to you guys about how cool this is, how it works, and why I'm going this direction. So with that said, thank you so much for watching this. Again, this is Leroy with my Capture Page. Wanted to share with you the reason why I went to Go Ringless and why I think you ought to as well. So that said, thanks a lot for watching, and hope we get you on the system soon. Take care.